Number 6, my favorite, stage gates, phase gates. Do you have them? And some people say, yeah, we got them. I said, have you got stage release of funding? No. Then what's the point? Seriously, guys, I did, I mean, if anyone wants to read up about this stuff, Annie Duke, superb. She's a chess player. Annie Duke wrote a book called Thinking in Bets. And Annie Duke, she's a champion poker player. And she said, life is more like poker than it is chess. And yet, in organizations, in our strategic planning, we treat it as if it was chess. Lots of detailed planning. I mean, a poker player doesn't do detailed planning. He's kind of agile. He makes small, or she makes small incremental bets, always keeping something back from the next hand. They know they live in a world of huge uncertainty. So you make incremental bets. And as you become more confident, so you increase your financial commitment. What do we do with our projects and programs? We say, oh, we're managing risk. No, you're not. You're gambling. You're gambling with taxpayers and shareholders' money. You're given the business case comes forward. I say to every organization, how many business cases do you reject? And if you say none, then you're writing business cases to justify a decision that's already been made. And then you wonder why it goes wrong. We need to have these incremental, so you get the funding at each gateway review. These aren't like the old OGC gateway reviews, which are on behalf of the sponsor. No, these are part of the portfolios. Portfolio governance, a key principle of portfolio governance. When you get to a set point, we stop. Is it still the right thing to do? To give you an idea, McKinsey's, probably the most expensive consultants on planet Earth, their advice is change the default option. The default option should be when you get to gateway 1, if you don't turn up for the gateway, you don't get any funding. Funding stops. The default is stop. If you want to continue, you have to turn up at the gateway and argue the case for the continued funding. So these gates are decision points. Are we stop? Are we hold? Or do we go? Red, amber, green. So this is an example of being a lot more disciplined. I mean, one of the things that happens every time we cancel a project, you talk to people that cancel it, they say, we should have cancelled it earlier. Should have done it earlier. And yet, usually, it's not that the people that do this well are the pharmaceutical companies and oil exploration. The people that do know they live in a highly uncertain world. And number 7, obviously governance. And you'll see the quote there from Peter Wheel, who is the kind of world's leading IT academic on IT governance. World's leading academic on IT governance. And Peter Wheel says, the best indicator of top governance performance is the ability of senior managers to describe the governance framework. Well, they should understand what's governance about. Well, you guys are dealing with governance, but from a project perspective, I'm borrowing from Mike Clayton, super guy. Mike Clayton's got a YouTube channel, and he says governance is about 3 things. He's got a 5-minute video. I'll give it to you in 30 seconds rather than 5 minutes. It's about three things. Setting direction, so those objectives, and what's the project designed to achieve to deliver those objectives. It's about investment decision making. So the project makes the technical decision making, but the decision about investment lies with the portfolio body. Do we continue to invest? Yes or no? And then the job of the portfolio of governance is to provide the oversight of the project during its life. And this is the issue with things like the NHS IT program that lost £10,000 million, or the HS2 program. It's how did we end up where we are now? Because it's not like they didn't have governance. They had loads of governance, and yet it wasn't done well. And that's a real challenge. And on my my model at the beginning, I had these 6 key success characteristics: active, disciplined, benefits-led, evidence, transparent, and one other. There are these 6. In other words, and what I usually quote is Ella Fitzgerald. Take what you do, 'tis the way that you do it. Because everyone, their boards, they have progress reports, decision criteria, but somehow it's not done well. And so it's a cultural issue where we need to focus management's attention on, and that means then having clear rules about how we make decisions, using which criteria, so people know what decisions are made where and when, which variances need to be escalated, and be willing to take the decision, the difficult decision. I mean, Tim Banfield at the National Audit Office, he was the guy that he was the director in charge of the audit reviews of defence projects. And Tim Banfield said there is a conspiracy of continuation. Look at the language. Because everyone knows, he said, just get the project started because it's almost impossible to stop it. That's a concern. So we've got to overcome the conspiracy of continuation. If anyone's found that of interest, there's a little guide. You can go and buy the book, obviously, but you can get a guide for free for downloading. You can, there's a LinkedIn group you could join. And of course, you can, please feel free to email me. But David, over to you, buddy.